Muskegon Channel. It's Andy O'Reilly, and today I am down at the Disability Network of West Michigan. We are here to, I got that right?
Yes, you did.
Look at me, look at me! I'm down here with my old friend Jeff VanDyke. How you been, man?
I've been good. I've recently started working at Disability Network. Well, recently as in 10 months ago.
Yeah?
And now I'm a graphic designer, so I think I'm heading in the right direction.
Yeah, we've had you on before with some of your artwork and some of the great things that you've done. And
we have, last time I think you covered me, it was more about the Michigan Victory Games and athletic and volunteer sports opportunities.
So you're like an old hat at this.
I try.
Media superstar, you know. Dianne Fleser?
Yes.
Fleser, got that one? Hey, I'm on a roll for a Monday. Dianne Fleser is here too. She is the Executive Director of the Disability Network of West Michigan. Thank you for taking a couple of minutes today to talk about this.
Thank you.
It's a big day.
It is a big
20th
day.
anniversary coming up.
Yes.
How about that?
Wonderful.
Give me the elevator speech about the Disability Network of West Michigan. Tell me what you guys do.
Absolutely. So Disability Network West Michigan, our purpose is really to assist people with disabilities to live their most independent, self-sufficient life possible. We also work really hard to reduce disability stigma in the community and to increase opportunities for people with disabilities in the communities we serve. So we serve 5 counties total: Muskegon, Muskegon, Lake, Nuevo, Oceana, and Mason counties.
So it's a pretty broad area that you're taking care of.
It is.
It is.
Yep. Our highest concentration of folks are here in Muskegon County.
Sure.
But it is really important to our mission and who we are to make sure we're getting out to those rural areas as well and providing education and accessibility opportunities to those folks also.
Now, before we rolled the cameras here today, Jeff, we were talking a little bit about the stigma type thing. You had a job with a school.
I did.
Tell me a little bit about that. I mean, because, you know, we go back a little ways, not a ton, but I know that you've always kind of worked toward that, let's get rid of the stigma type thing. Tell me about that gig before this one.
Well, you know, I always had participated in some type of athletic program.
Yep.
Like a big portion of our local basketball program, which centers around helping youth basically become more comfortable with their disability. And along with that, most recently I had a job at Lakeside Elementary, working in a sensory motor room, which is like, it's kind of like station to station training to help little ones like learn teamwork and different skill building activities. And my role was to kind of, you know, be a centerpiece, give them somebody to talk to that was a visual representation of disabilities and kind of hopefully change the way they thought about someone in a wheelchair or someone who uses equipment on a daily basis. So the next time they see them in public or in school, maybe they would want to be their friend instead of run the opposite direction.
Instead of that old God look, you know, oh, somebody's different, right? And the reality of it is that there's really not much difference.
And also, you know,
I mean, you're people.
Like you said, you know, a lot of times you'll hear in stores or if it's in a doctor's office, maybe a little one is in there with a parent or whoever, and they'll have a question. And rather than let the child ask the question, their parent will shush them or tell them not to come over. Well, I can only speak for myself, but I would want you to come over.
Sure.
I want you to ask the question. I would rather have you ask and be curious, because there's nothing wrong with being curious.
No.
The only way you learn is to ask. And to me, there's no such thing as a dumb question.
Right.
If you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah.
Of course, if it's older adults, you hope their approach was at least respectful.
Sure.
But all in all, if I can use my experiences or my position here or my body in some way to help make this organization better or help destigmatize people in chairs or with disabilities, then I'm all for it.
Love this guy.
Yeah.
He's awesome, huh?
Well, and he's really the epitome of our mission and our philosophy.
Sure.
You know, really promoting that personal empowerment, promoting inclusivity and accessibility in our communities, and that positive social change.
Yeah.
And as a center for independent living, we're non-residential, we're a private, not-for-profit, and we're consumer controlled. So it means that our staff and our governing board are all composed of people with disabilities. So it's federally mandated for us to at least have a 50% composition of individuals with disabilities. And our current team now, for our staff, we have 73% of people with disabilities, and our board is 67% people with disabilities.
That's remarkable.
And we use the term cross-disability a lot.
Yeah.
And that just refers to, we want to be representative of a wide range of disabilities.
Sure.
So we'll have individuals with mobility impairments and visual impairments, hearing impairments. So those ones are a little easier to pinpoint and see. But we also try to do a lot of education and outreach regarding, some of the stigmas that exist with mental illness or some of those other chronic conditions that you can't see just by looking at someone. And so there's a wide breadth of people with disabilities in our community. Nationally, people with disabilities account for about 1 in 5.
Do they really?
So we're the largest minority group. However, we often get left out of those really important conversations regarding diversity and inclusion.
Right.
And so we really try to bring that to the table.
And I know too that you guys do a lot of advocacy work and a lot of help to local governments. In Roosevelt Park, I'm on the council over there. You guys have been absolutely incredible in guiding us to some of the things that we just didn't know. Some of the like hearing things that we needed to fix, and we did. Sidewalk things that we needed to handle, and we did. You've been elemental in making things better for our community. What do we know? I mean, we can look it up online, all this kind of stuff. You're experts.
Yeah.
And if people need to call somebody and find out things, they can get a hold of you.
Absolutely.
And that's what this is all about. I mean, you're a resource for the entire community on making sure that needs are met, requirements are met, and the stigma thing kind of gets put to the side, which is important.
Yeah, and that advocacy piece, I just want to touch on that briefly because that's actually one of our core services.
Yeah.
So we operate under 5 core services that we're federally mandated to provide. Systems and individual advocacy is one of those. Unfortunately, next summer we'll be celebrating, or at least recognizing, 30 years of the passage of the Americans with Disabilities Act.
Okay.
So that's 30 years have passed since that important piece has been passed. However, if you talk to individuals like Jeff, some of our other staff, there are still many places in our community that are, sometimes unknowingly discriminating against individuals accessing their businesses or their services simply because they are not completely accessible. So the advocacy piece is a really important thread to who we are, because even though that act has been passed now for nearly 30 years, we still have a long way to go.
Yeah.
And so we're happy to be here.
And you're the ones to call
support.
if anybody's got a question about that.
Absolutely.
And you'll help
love
them.
getting those calls.
Just like that.
For sure.
There's a resource right there.
Sure. Yeah.
So 30 years is next year for that act, but this year's 20 years.
Yeah,
a little bit of a celebration here.
Yeah,
all right, let's move on to the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Save the date. What are we talking here? September 25th?
September 25th. Yep, we're doing our first anniversary luncheon for our organization.
Okay.
So it's pretty monumental for us in that regard as well. 11:30 to 1 o'clock at the Folkert Center.
Folkert Community Hub. I'm familiar with the place.
Perfect. Yep, on 640 Seminole.
Been there once or twice.
Awesome.
Tell me about the luncheon. What's going to go on?
Yeah, so we will have a couple featured key speakers.
Okay.
We really, are trying to promote the impact and services we've been able to provide over the course of our 20 years. Jeff will be one of the featured key speakers to talk about his story on how he was introduced to our organization and how far he's come since then. And then we have a couple of other consumers who, their lives have also been impacted by the services and independent living supports we've been able to provide. So attendees will have an opportunity to hear their stories and how we've made that difference. And we'll also talk a little bit about the accessibility services we offer as well, because that's become a huge realm of what we're able to offer with all the development and
Sure.
exciting things going on, especially here in
Right, get it
Muskegon.
right now.
Yes.
Yeah, so when
please.
you're making things, when you're building things and all these big buildings are going up and everything's great, get it right
Yes.
the first time.
Yes,
Perfect.
come talk to us and hear directly from the people's lives that those decisions impact. So that will be the primary focus, and then just trying to raise some funds
Sure.
to continue doing the work that we do. We do receive federal and state funding through contracts. We do some fee-for-service work as well, and apply for grants through local foundations and things like that. But this is really an opportunity to be able to expand, hopefully, our message and mission, and be able to get more people on board to support us.
I love it.
So,
I love what you guys do.
thank you.
This isn't our first visit down here. I mean, it's
No.
been maybe a year or so that we've been.
Yeah.
And we're always welcome to come back. Anytime you need us, holler.
Thank
But this is September 25th. Tickets available online.
They are, yep, our website, disabilitynetworkwm.org.
I'll link it up.
Okay, great. Or you can call our office and we'll get you hooked up that way. They're $30 a ticket for a nice lunch catered by Rikes.
Ooh.
So it should be
Adam,
pretty good.
the pressure's on you, man. We're all looking for lunch now. Jeff, any final words?
If I could just piggyback off that a little bit, since Dianne mentioned that I was going to be a speaker, I want to like hammer home the point how important this organization is, not just from a advocacy standpoint or a community changer, but really a life-changing opportunity for people with disabilities of all kinds. When I came here as a consumer, like I mentioned earlier, I didn't really have much direction,
Yeah.
and I didn't really have opportunities laid out in front of me. I mean, there were opportunities, but I didn't know where to go to
Right.
chase them,
Right.
or how even like the process of a job interview or writing a resume, different things like that, which seem like average skills that most people have. Well, the thing is, not everybody is skilled in that department. If you've never done it,
Right?
you've never done it. Like,
I wouldn't know how to behave on a job interview. I would have no idea.
it's difficult. One of the things and one of the programs we offer here is Job Club, and
Yeah.
where they go over like interview skills, and we did like a mock interview, and even though I knew the person really well that was across from me, it was still intimidating.
It is, isn't it?
Because you're trying to think in the moment, like about the next question.
Right?
Like in that moment, you kind of get lost. Like, or at least I did. I felt lost. Like I didn't want to be wrong,
Right?
even though it was about myself.
I know, right?
I felt intimidated. So all in all, this organization, from the different programs and how they can change consumers' lives.
Yeah.
Like when I came here, like I mentioned earlier, I was a consumer
Yeah.
at one point, and I volunteered for about a year, I think, and then did an internship for, I think, maybe like a month,
Yeah.
and slowly but surely I'm still here.
You wore them down.
Yeah.
That's how I got started in radio. I started as an intern, and I'm like, look, I'm not going away.
That's
Just
what I
give me the
thought.
job, right? See, you're smart.
And overall, like, it's just a life-changing opportunity
That's a great
to
thing, man.
to change the way you see yourself.
Yeah.
Not just the way other people see you, but to realize what you have, or to have a group of people on the outside
Yeah.
see you for what you have instead of what you don't,
Yeah.
and then to be able to use your abilities and platform to help other people,
Yeah.
to kind of bridge the gap and be what you didn't have growing
Yeah.
up.
You're awesome, dude.
Because to grow up with a physical disability, and I'm sure it's the same way for invisible disabilities too, but I can only speak for myself.
Sure.
To watch TV or to watch movies, different things, they always say representation matters, and that's true, it does. But like Dianne mentioned earlier, minorities, they come in all forms.
Yeah.
And disabilities are usually left off.
Yeah.
Physical disabilities are left.
Well, I gotta tell you what, dude, you represent better than anybody I've ever met. You're a rock star, man.
I'm hoping.
You got this thing, man. So the 25th, Folkert Community Hub.
Yes, sir.
Come on out for lunch.
Please.
20th
yes.
celebration,
Yeah.
20th, 20 years. This is awesome.
Great.
Great work. Diane, Jeff, thank you guys so much. All the links are going to be right here on the Muskegon channel. Help these guys out with their work. And again, if you have a question about anything, call them. It's a resource. You're not going to charge them.
No.
Nope. Just
Nope.
like that.
That's right.
Pick up the phone, give them a
Too
call.
easy.
Make it happen down here at the Disability Network. Congratulations on 20 years.
Thank you so much.
Best of luck on the 25th. Follow those links and get your tickets and help them out down here at the Disability Network.